Agents in California and Texas have been preparing for this day. Border Patrol officials say they're seeing historically high levels of migration.
And despite that, Homeland Security officials say the end of the COVID-era policy known as Title 42 did not result in a substantial increase in migrant encounters overnight.
Reporter Nicole Sganga is in Brownsville, Texas, with the very latest.
Migrants crossed the border directly into waiting buses in El Paso, Texas Friday, hours after Title 42 expired. Homeland Security officials say so far the policy change has not led to a surge in border crossings.
We have not seen any substantial increase in encounters overnight or any influx at midnight.
But migrant arrival numbers remain high, and the Mexican government estimates there are more than 26,000 migrants waiting to enter the U.S.
We provide lawful, safe, and orderly pathways for people to come to the United States when they qualify for relief.
Under the policy now in effect, migrants cannot gain asylum without first applying for it in another country. Those caught crossing illegally face a 5-year ban and possible criminal charges. Migrants seeking asylum who make it across the border and through processing face more confusion and uncertainty about their status in the U.S.
And it's a similar situation in Southern California. This is a look at the border wall in San Ysidro, just south of San Diego, where migrants are also waiting to enter the U.S. Reporter Michele Gile spoke to volunteers who are showing up to help.
Oh, sorry. Beans and tortillas and cheese for the people. Okay?
It's lunchtime at the U.S.-Mexico border. People from all over are showing up where the migrants have been living in a field.
200 pairs of socks from the San Diego Episcopal Diocese.
Volunteers are delivering blankets and more food like granola bars and crackers, which will be distributed to hundreds of asylum seekers who are waiting on U.S. soil for Border Patrol agents to process their cases. Is this worth it?
Para ti, esto vale la pena?
Si logramos pasar.
In reality, if she's allowed to enter the country, then it's worth it. But if not, they've lived a lot of terrible things.
This 19-year-old came alone from Colombia. She's made a friend in the field who is another young Colombian. They, like other migrants, have eaten very little and rely on the generosity of people like this Chula Vista resident.
I don't know if it's appropriate or not, but I want to hand these out. It means, the American flag always stands for hope, right? And hopefully these people hang on to that hope.
The clapping is coming from migrants, cheering on those in their group who have been here the longest and have been called up by Border Patrol officers to begin the asylum processing. One of the men, wearing a white backpack, had a big fluffy blanket in his hands. Before he left, he walked back to the group and gave it to a person in the crowd. It's overcast and still chilly outside. Hands are constantly stretched through gaps in the steel wall for help charging cell phones. Migrants want access to family and the U.S. government app for asylum seekers. Friday, a volunteer brought power outlets to help charge phones.
So the distribution continues for people who are in need of so much. Volunteers are passing out slices of watermelon, bags of oranges, bottles of water. They're giving all of the donations that have come in. Back to you.
And Governor Gavin Newsom making his voice heard on this issue as we take a live look at the state capitol this evening. He called out Congress and specifically House Speaker Kevin McCarthy for not passing immigration reform or anything else to improve the situation at the border.